Good people, thank you for joining us once again. I am your host, Khanya Mosetlhi. I am joined by Rindai, and Tobi. There's lots to talk about in this European review. The first thing I thought about that I'd like to change up a little bit. Tobi, your team almost lost to a team where I don't know a single player. I really couldn't help myself. I'd love to slow it down, have the normal intros, but I need to hear your thoughts, sir. What did you make of that game?
For me, I think I know who I can trust and who I cannot trust now. As a fan, I should even be manager because I know which players we can rely on and which ones we cannot. At the moment, I'm sorry, but Malacia is gonna have to touch that bench. That's the first guy. Second guy is Sancho. I do not know what this guy is doing. I don't know if maybe someone has approached him to be on Top Boy or something because it just looks like this guy does not want to play football, bro. So from that game, I just think Rashford, Martial, they're going to have to start against Everton. Because if we play like that against Everton, we'll lose 3-0. I'm telling you. No, we're not going to play. We're not going to play well. Especially with a team that's on good form. Playing like that, no. I don't even know. What are those guys even called? Like pneumonia or something like that?
Ammonia.
It's Ash.
There is. I've so many times. It's ammonia or something like that. They're from Cyprus. But this is the first time I've ever seen the badge. The fact that they scored against you is genuinely impressive. I was touched by the performance. I'm sad that they lost. Honestly, they deserved the point because you guys are desperately unserious.
When you search for them on Google, they don't even have if you just search Europa League, you look at their badge, it's not there. It's just like it's just a green blank badge. Bro. And these guys struggled, bro.
I don't know what's wrong with us, man.
Yeah, no. Mvu, what did you think of the game?
The United game.
Yeah.
I just thought Ronaldo was old, bro. Yo. I always go back to it. I don't know who told him he's 25. Those sports scientists, but they finished him, man. But again, he hasn't had preseason. I was just concerned because he just didn't look good. But other than that, bro, United look dusted. I don't know what it is with that team. I don't know. I didn't know what to make of it. I just thought a good goal from Rashford, but the overall performance from United was just dead. I was surprised. I was surprised. I didn't think they would be that bad. I was very surprised.
Yeah, no, it was a weird game to watch because in a game where a team scores 3 goals, generally you're thinking they played quite well. There's attack cohesion, but there wasn't a lot of that until, and I have to say this, until Martial and Rashford came out.
Yeah.
And generally, I don't know. I think there's a few positives to take for United in this game. I think the fact that Martial looks like he cares about football again is helpful. And Tobi, I agree with you. I think you guys are losing this weekend. By the way, I don't know how you can beat Everton. I think they have a bit of midfield balance than you again.
Is it a home or away game for United?
It's at Goodison Park, bro.
Goodison. But even with that Martial point, do you think it's the manager or it's himself?
I've
seen a different guy right now. I'm seeing a very different guy right now.
So I've read lots of reports where there's people who are either making excuses for him or there's a bit of truth in it. So apparently, he's essentially injured. Right? Where he wasn't fully fit, he was being run into the ground.
Yeah.
In the same way Rashford was, right? Because he didn't have anyone else in terms of attacking depth off the bench. This is probably the most attacking depth they've had in years, and even then it's not amazing.
I believe that because I heard Maguire was also one of those players that had.
Maybe the injury was in his brain. He's lying. There was no injury. Hi. People are gonna be using that as an excuse, bro. I'm not accepting Maguire saying it.
Yeah, but also I think the way Ten Hag plays also really does suit Martial.
Yeah,
he wants his forward involved. He's able. He links up with his oaks a lot more. And I can't remember where I saw it, but something I noticed a while ago is that United's actual best attacking spells under Ole did come with Bruno, Martial, and Rashford all together. This is the first time in essentially 2 years where that's been the case. And there seems to be like a genuine amount of cohesion between them. Even Rashford started the season like you want to play of the month, playing with Bruno again. So there's clearly something to that. There's lots to build with. The scary thing is, as Toby said, is the top boy applicant, and what happens to him. But yeah, overall, I think it's sad that United didn't lose this weekend. But I reckon Everton have something for us. I'm happy that they're playing them this weekend.
That'll be interesting, to be fair.
Other Europa League highlights. I don't know if Oak saw Roma lost to Real Betis. Looks like they might be heading out. That was disappointing, but I guess it also kind of makes sense. I don't know how. It's hard for me to evaluate how good Roma really are. They're very hot and cold. At this point, I'm very down in their hopes. I think confidence level might be where they are on a European scale, but maybe that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't understand what the Oaks thing's happening to Tammy Abraham right now.
I just like out of form, bro. Like, and also I don't think Roma aren't extremely creative either. And they play when they play against bigger sides, they tend to play primarily on the counter.
Yeah, exactly.
You almost have to be perfect to be scoring in those kinds of games. And you know, it's a big ask. It's a big ask.
But maybe that Dybala, do you think it affected him?
I'd like to think it would help them, but it's like I don't know. It's a bit weird. Like Dybala, Zaniolo, and Khanya as a front three is nice, but it feels like I don't know. Three Oaks that are all goal first. Like the most creative player there is Dybala, but also probably the best player, and he ends up like I don't know. The balance is very weird. In the other games that I took notice of, obviously Arsenal won, serious team as expected.
Yeah. What did you think of that performance actually?
No, I was happy with it. I feel like we should have scored maybe two more. I'm annoyed Eddie didn't score at least like one that was his own goal, not just a tap in. But there's nothing really big take from it. All I know is that the big focus is this weekend, and I'm glad that Oaks got Jesus on and things as well. I'm excited. I'm excited for that game.
Yeah, I was pleased by Nketiah's performance, bro. I won't lie, he's a bowler.
No, he's serious though.
Serious. I really like his work rate too. Like I like the fact that like even when he doesn't have the ball, he's contributing in some way.
Yeah. No, he runs like a dog for us.
Yeah, he runs like a dog, bro. He bowled. Shaka ball too. Some be bold, but I feel like he needs to show us more, especially in games like that. I feel like he's a bit too conservative at times.
I think they need to stop playing him in this deep role.
Yeah.
Then he won't play.
But I don't think. But I'm saying then like they shouldn't be such a force to be starting him or playing him in so many games if he's going to be playing in that position. I don't think he's equipped to be.
You don't think so?
Dying midfielder. I don't. I don't think his defensive awareness is that good to be there right now. But maybe it's something you develop. But I don't know. I think it's better if he's next to someone. If Partey is not always injured, if he's next to someone, then he can learn in that way. But putting him there on his ace doesn't work. But maybe my view is a bit smoky because I heard a company compare him to Yaya Toure once. I just think I'm trying to see that.
That's blasphemous,
bro. He did that. There was some interview where he said he reminds him a lot of Yaya, and I just from that day on I've just been looking at this guy. I'm like, there's no ways, bro.
Yeah, now for me it's like, because which game did you play in the United game? Like when I watched the Europa League game, like he was playing like similar to how he played in the United game. I'm like, okay, bro, like the United game, I understand you had to be a bit conservative. You feel me? That's a big game, but like in a Europa League game like that, like come on, bro. Like at least I feel like he should be attacking and being more positive. You get me? Personally.
Yeah.
Like I hear you guys. Like it's like you raising valid points. The Vieira comparison definitely hasn't helped. For me, I think he's only playing at DM, especially in this way, because Anene is still injured. If Partey is out, we don't have a DM, and he's probably the best suited. We know what Shaka's like there. Almost run out the club when you played him there. So I think I was gonna say let's just not do that again. Sambi's young, has potential to develop and get better in the role. Like I understand why it's happening. He's not playing amazing right now, but again, knowing that this isn't even his actual position, he's still learning the role. I can't hold it against him. Like he doesn't want to be playing there either. Like this is out of necessity. Like we'd have to hope that he'll improve with time.
Yeah.
But no, enough Europa. I guess we can move on to the main fixtures. I want to start. We spoke about this a little bit earlier.
Why?
The biggest game, the biggest game of the group stage so far, Inter versus Barca. Well, for a Barca fan, how are you feeling about this? You guys have lost your two most serious games. You lost to Bayern. You lost to Inter now as well. Are you nervous at all about your team?
We were going to Europa, bro. I thought we'd finish top of the group. I don't see it, fam. And with all the injuries that keep coming, it's like all these players you've signed. now you can't even use them. Like they're all out. Well, most of them.
Who's injured for?
Araujo, Kunde, Kessie is now injured. It's mainly the positions I was worried about where we have the injuries. I was never worried about us going forward.
Yeah.
My biggest concern with this team has always been from the midfield to the defense. Frankie is not a first choice starter. Gavi is. I don't think that's right. Frankie's not even that so injured.
Yeah.
And we have a Clasico soon. We're playing Inter again this coming week. I'm very worried. Christensen seems to have an injury. I haven't seen any updates on him yet. And now we're gonna have Eric Garcia playing. Like there's nothing to look forward to for me right now. Like I'm so ready to swallow the words that I had in the beginning of the group stages. But I did also warn people about this. I warned Tobi, you telling me be positive, bro, be this and all that other bullshit. But I've always been concerned about Barca at the back, and I think that's where any of the problems we've had this season have been from there, and maybe Lewandowski ghosting in the big tests. But I'm disappointed, Khanya. There's a short answer. I'm disappointed, but it is what it is, bro.
No, boy, you actually sound so sad. This wasn't answer this question. I want to get like a young Chaka out of this. I'm actually I'm disheartened for you, boy. That's a tough one to hold.
Yeah,
you guys aren't perfect, but I don't think that
we shouldn't be losing to Inter.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be losing to Inter, like at all. Inzaghi's been struggling. Like the game plan was perfect, but like Xavi messed that up.
Yeah,
he messed it up.
For me, I just think it's a big game where you guys crumble. Because to be honest, if you look at La Liga, I think you guys already conceded like one goal this whole season. So I don't think you can say like your defense is that bad, bro.
But we haven't had tests like our biggest test was meant to be Sevilla, punish them, and we've seen how Sevilla have been in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And our opening game, which we didn't win, like we haven't been tested defense. Our last game actually, where we won 1-0, we were getting tested at the back. Ter Stegen, I don't know how many saves he made, but he made so many saves.
Yeah,
we've been saved by the fact that going forward, we're good. So, I said, that's never the concern. It's when it's time to defend, when we're playing bigger teams where people have to be defensively aware, things crumble, like things shake. So
that makes sense.
So if I asked you how you're feeling about playing Celta Vigo tomorrow, you tell me that you're feeling confident, surely, or you think you might actually step up there.
No, we won't. Even like I'm not worried about Celta. I'm worried about Inter again. Nah,
Celta are good though, eh?
But Barca tend to struggle against Celta, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Celta in the big games, even Madrid, bro, like they show up.
But I'm not worried, bro. If we lose that one, I'm not recording on Monday. Like I'm.
So Rindai, I'd ask you, but as a Madrid fan, I don't think we'll get an unbiased opinion. Tobi, what did you make of what happened to Barca this weekend, or this week rather?
I don't know. I don't even know what to expect from these guys. I think that I don't know. Marco Alonso for me was a very confusing buy. I understand he offers a lot to this. I guess he offers something different to Xavi at that left back position, but I just don't understand what's the point of him being in this club. That's the first thing, and then obviously I agree with Mvu a lot with Eric Garcia because this guy is terrible, man. Like I do not know what he offers, what he brings, what does he even improve in that side? Can you guys even name me a few things? Like if
It's
he's not,
literally just for it's literally just for his passing, which is so concerning for me with Xavi because Balde will bench for Marcos Alonso because maybe Alonso's a better passer across him.
Yeah.
But we lose so much when he does stupid shit like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. So that's the first thing. I think there's a few players there which I don't think they should be there. And I think that maybe does cause a little bit of problems when it comes to actually more cohesion within the team and stuff. And then the second thing is, Inter were playing a low block or whatever, very like compact in the defense. But I still think that Bayern, with the players they had, should be able to unlock that. I'm not going to lie to you. So maybe at the end of the day, it is down to, I guess, Xavi and those guys for maybe not really finding a way to win this game. I feel like throughout the game, they were just trying to, do the same things, go on the side, pass to Dembele, try cross, get Lewandowski to hit it. They were doing that towards the end. They were doing that for 20 minutes towards the end, instead of maybe, I guess, trying to find a different way of trying to play. But I don't know. I think for me, Barca, they're going to be playing with us in Europa because there's no way they'll beat Inter next. And they're playing Bayern as well, so it's like, and Bayern, I don't know. By that match day, maybe Bayern will already be through, so they might play through promoting and those. But
no, bro, German teams don't give a shit, bro. They will play at full strength, and they'll try pipers. Like.
Nah, if that's the case, then you're gonna start hearing Europa League music with us. But it's calm. There's a few of us watching. Khanya's included, so you can't really
No, look, I think, look, I know Barca haven't been perfect, right? There's a lot to dislike in their big games. But I'm going to try offer a more balanced take, considering I don't really care what happens to them. The fact that they lost to Bayern and Inter as the only losses they've had this entire season, they really could have gotten an equalizer in that game. There's a few moments where they're unlucky. I think they deserved to lose, but with a little bit of luck, they wouldn't have ended up in as bad a situation as they're currently in. I don't think that it's ridiculous for any team to go to the San Siro and lose. That is an iconic, serious European stadium. Not a lot of teams are winning there anyway. Even though Inter aren't at their best right now, they are still Inter. Like, those teams are going to be up for big games. Like, I think, provided there aren't any more injuries. Hear me out. Provided there aren't any more injuries, the big games you have left in this group stage are all at home.
Yeah, and you can win those games, to be honest, bro. Because
you usually draw against Bayern, and you could have beaten them in the first leg.
Yeah, they should have beaten them in the first leg for sure.
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
But my point is that it's about fine margins, right? And ultimately, the games you lost were away games. In Europe, that makes a very big difference. It's actually fine to not win those games every time. Yeah, but you're not there yet. Like, this team just got together.
Yeah, but
I hear that. I think my biggest concern is us leaking goals in those games, and I don't see us. Okay, actually, we'll see. But I just don't trust us at the back to be able to cope with these bigger tests, because we've seen that when we play against teams that can defend, we struggle to score as well. Like Rindai said, we've barely conceded goals this season. But in these big games, we haven't scored as well. When we've played more difficult defenses, they seem to have no idea how to be more creative and find goals. It's like it's almost like Dembele, Pedri, Hope, and just get the ball to Lewandowski in the box and score.
That's what I was
And I think the only way we avoid that is if Fati or someone plays, not Rafinha playing left and then Dembele only doing one thing. Like,
Fati's finished, bro.
No, he's not finished. He's not finished.
But I was like, he's giving me them João Felix vibes. No cap, media hype at the moment.
Come on, no way. I'm not having that comparison. I'm not having that comparison.
But this is actually a big month for Barca. Eh? I feel like this is like a do or die month for Xavi. Like, I'm seeing they've got Celta Vigo obviously tomorrow, then Inter, then Madrid,
Yo, bro.
then Villarreal, then Bilbao.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna be a very tough month for you guys. Now when
Bro,
like
especially if they lose, the audit committee will be outside their gates.
and you can easily lose all of those games.
Because then their money is gone to shit. His whole plan is in the mud. They have to win things, and if they lose,
yeah.
Listen, I think they'll get out the group, provided there are no more injuries. I think that they have a chance at the very least. If anyone else goes out, I think it's wraps. And I'm sorry, but you will be called to attention in the event that happens.
Okay, enough about Barca.
Hey, enough about Barca. Enough about Barca. We're halfway through the group stages now. What will you guys' biggest surprises be so far? Toby, let's start with you.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna have to go with. Okay, I was gonna say Napoli, but that's not surprising given their the league form that they're on. So I'm gonna have to go with Club Brugge. No cap, bro. I am confused at how these guys have 9 points. They won all their games, three out of 3. So I don't know. Am I right in saying in your piece that you wrote, you were speaking about them a little bit?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you said a few things. If you could just elaborate on some of those things, and then I guess I can go from there. But I remember reading it, and you were talking about how they actually might do something.
I think I mentioned that they, more than anything else, they're not useless per se.
Yeah.
But I did not expect them to be doing this. I thought that Atletico would be top of this group. I'm not going to pretend that I thought I saw this coming. No, I did not. I didn't imagine that they'd find a way to do anything like they've done so far. I think they've also been helped by the fact that it seems like everyone else in the group is kind of in a weird place. Atletico Madrid, we know about the issues. Like, they're not really as good defensively as they used to be. Leverkusen have sacked their coach. Xabi Alonso stepped in now. I think Leverkusen are 17th in the Bundesliga right now.
Yeah.
They're in a very weird place.
Just a quick question on Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso. So, he's had the coaches, Ancelotti, Jose, Pep, can speak, 3 languages, but can he coach? What do you oats think? Do you think he's the future?
He's coached youth teams, and I think he's assisted a bit at Sociedad. I'm not sure. I don't know if
yeah, I see.
But I haven't followed too much of him, but I wouldn't doubt. It's a bias I have with players of his type. I don't think they usually tend out to be very poor coaches.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm very interested to see, because I think this is probably his first big job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any. I just want to see.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for me, Club Brugge, bro. That's my highlights this midway through the group stage.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good shot. And we won't touch on your team. What do you say the biggest positive surprise you've seen in the Crusaders so far?
Probably the Marseille result. It makes that group a lot more interesting. Spurs still might have a chance to get knocked out, so that's a bonus for me. They were weird against Frankfurt, very weird. But yeah, Bruges has been like the best story, I guess. What's the average age of their team? They're a young team, aren't they?
Relatively, I don't have the stats on hand though.
Yeah, relatively. They lost Charles Leclerc and the boys. They've lost They've lost a few players, to be fair.
Yeah,
and they still seem fairly competent.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They've also lost big players, and they're doing really, really well. And like from parts of the games that I've watched, they played really well as well. So I think that's probably been the best thing. Yeah, and also Messi's back, bro. I'm so happy. Like that as well. That's probably the other plus. Like he's been given this 10 role, not like what Pochettino is trying to make him do, playing out wide. And there's a big difference in the way PSG play and how he's playing. So I think those are my top picks from this week I think they're.
And Rindai, what would you say your biggest takeaways have been so far? And how
okay. Yeah, I can't believe Atletico. I don't know what's going on there. Simeone is getting paid too much money to be doing this, to be honest. And I feel like it might, if they don't do anything this season, which I don't see them doing, I feel like it might be time to try find a new manager. it's been a pretty poor start for them. Like lost in the, and then Madrid obviously 3-3. Our group,
I knew it.
granted, wasn't too difficult, but yeah, I'm enjoying the football we're playing.
Rindai, so I didn't watch the Madrid game. How was Murdoch?
Oh, who's more like that winger?
Yeah, the blonde
Nah,
Ukrainian.
Yeah, no, he didn't do much. Like I'd never seen him play before, but obviously people were hyping him up before the game. But nah, he didn't do anything, to be honest. Like we completely dominated that game.
So he's not getting the Rindai co-sign yet.
Nah, not at all.
Damn.
But I was happy with Benzema's performance. I see that he's not injured again, but yeah, he's not playing today because I don't know, just a minor injury. But he played really well.
You still think you don't need Benzema like you said last time?
Nah. I didn't say we don't need Benzema, but I said we're relying on him less this season. That's what I said. But we definitely need him, bro. Like for me, he was a bit, and I think that's what makes him great. Like he doesn't really have to score to have a good game.
Yeah.
As compared to Lewandowski, I would say.
Yeah.
Khanya,
Yeah.
before you give us your takes for your like just this week, sticking with Madrid, Hazard. What do you make of this now?
I'm disheartened, dude. I'm really sad about this. I can't lie. I think it's done. I think he has to leave Madrid. Whatever capabilities he might still have, I just don't think Madrid's the right environment because they're not going to try and play him into form anymore. I don't think that's anyone's plan at this stage.
Yeah.
Like if he plays, he needs to be performing consistently, and with his lack of rhythm, clearly that's not something he has about him right now. I don't know who he's going to start against or which moment Ancelotti's going to look to him and say, "You'll win us this game. You're going to change this for us." Like I genuinely think Asensio is ahead of. Like, not even think we've seen Asensio ahead of him in the pecking order.
Yeah.
I honestly think Vasquez like has a better shot at playing like as an attacker, contributing before I think Hazard's going to do anything. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but I think he needs to leave as soon as possible. He needs to bring an end to this. I don't know where he goes. I was initially I thought like a team like Milan could use him. I think he's better than Brahim Diaz, but I don't think he goes anywhere and justifies the wage he's on as well. He's in a very weird place. I don't know what to say for Eden Hazard anymore.
I just really do think his style of play was just really suited for the Prem. Like La Liga was gonna be good, but I just think he should just go back to the Prem, bro. But I think you'll find it up there
right now.
Go back to the Prem and play for who, boy?
That's up to him, bro. He can go. He can even this version of Hazard can go take number 10 back from Pulisic, bro. But like,
Pulisic
I
isn't
don't know.
even playing
I don't know.
Pulisic and Hazard have the same issues right now.
But the thing is, I don't know where he goes, but I just think the best versions that I've seen of Hazard, even when he wasn't having like when he had that bad season, he's just very much suited for the Prem. I don't see like maybe League One, but I don't know. I just think his physical attributes and all those things just he will do well in that setting versus him trying to push in La Liga right now.
Now for me, when it comes to Hazard now, bro, I wouldn't lie, that guy's finished, bro. Like even just like physically, like he's lost. I feel like the biggest thing with Hazard is that like he still has his like field control and stuff, but like he's lost that burst, bro. You know, like he it's not like he's bad with his feet, but now when it's time to get past the man, that's where he struggles, bro. And like once that starts happening in your career, especially for a player like Hazard, it's a wrap, bro.
How old is Hazard? He's 30.
Yeah, he's not even old, bro. I don't know. Like, he didn't really take care of his body like that, bro. You feel me? Like clearly he didn't.
No,
I know what defense. It was the Neymar comparisons.
I'm like, no, I don't.
It was the Neymar comparisons that sent him to the ground. People were disrespecting Neymar, and this is what happens. I hope everyone listening understands what happens when you disrespect Neymar now and compare anyone to that guy.
Nah, but there was a time the comparisons were fair, don't you think?
Okay, wait.
I've
No,
never
stop.
thought that.
Let's stop.
I've
Let's stop
never
this
in my
right now.
life.
We're about to have character assassination on Eden Hazard if we're going to compare it to Neymar and we're going to talk about how he wasn't even close to him. Let's leave all that. What I want to say in defense of Hazard is that I've read a few things recently where players, well, not players, but like statisticians talk about the fact that your age in football isn't necessarily represented by like the number itself. It's about like the amount of minutes you have acquired in your legs, right? Hazard's been a player we've known since around 2011, 2010 even maybe. He's only 31 now, but in terms of minutes played, he's played way more than like a lot of players like some players peak at like 28. By like 24, 25, we're already seeing Hazard play at the top level. I think he really is just suffering from maybe like overuse as well. Like he played every game basically for Chelsea for like 5 years. He's come to Madrid now, hasn't found rhythm, picked up a few more injuries. It's I don't know. I can make peace with the fact that if he is finished, it's not as if there's anything else he needed to have done.
Nah, but I hear your point, Khanya, bro. But I remember watching some John Terry interview a while ago, and he was even speaking about like how in training like Hazard doesn't train well. You feel me? Like he was basically speaking about how like he was shocked at what Hazard would do in the games because at training he wouldn't be doing much. And like to counter your point, like if you look at someone like Benzema, bro, he's also a guy who's definitely got mad mileage on his legs, probably more than Hazard, and he's still obviously injuries now are occurring more frequently. But like for me, it's just like Hazard. There's no excuse, and you know how much money Madrid paid for you, bro. Like had to give us something.
Rindai, just also maybe add or like counter your point a bit is that I think we've also all become numb. Like, so I agree. I hear your point, Khanya, and I agree. Because I think I could say the same thing about Gareth Bale. Injuries finished him, rhythm. But Bale has been a guy for many, many years. Well, at least like 8 years, seven to 8 years at the top of his game. With injuries as well. But when he came back, there was not much of a difference until things started taking a toll. But we've become numb to players like Benzema, who have been playing at the top for almost their whole careers. Your Messi's, your Ronaldo's. We've seen like 5 or 6 of players of their type, and then we expect it from every top player, where in reality, that's not how it goes. You don't really get people performing Hazard's the way Hazard was performing over 10 years for 15 years. You don't really get that. Even like Modric's peak was not like he was good at Tottenham, but really you start noticing more at his time in Madrid, and that's not it's 10 years, but like it's not 15 years of the same version of this player. So
I would agree if Hazard was like 34, 35, bro. Like 31 is not that old, bro. Because even to bring up another example, like look at Di Maria, bro. How old is Di Maria?
But remember, it's about years playing, not your age.
Yeah, no, I know it's about years played, but the guys I'm bringing up, like Di Maria has also played for years, bro. And my thing is like,
but Hazard, I think it's also about players who are less reliant on their physical attributes. Like Hazard's essentially, like I don't know how to say this properly. He
uses his body a lot.
Yeah, like he's someone who engages in so much more physical contact with certain players. As that starts to strip away, you have to evolve, and I don't think he's found what that other thing would be. He hasn't turned into being like an out-and-out 10 who's looking strictly to create. He's not stylistically similar to someone like Fekir, for example. But when you look, if I'm going to compare Hazard to Fekir and say he should be trying to go that direction, then he needs to go to a much lower level of club where he can be the focal point. At Madrid, to be expecting Hazard to be this kind of player, it's not fair.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point, and I feel like that's a big issue. I feel like at some point he should have like evolved in this game. You feel me? Because you're not gonna.
And he's the same guy, but he's still not at the same level. You have to go. You have to shift.
We've just allowed Khanya to sneak in Fekir in this conversation. This guy, this guy. Like,
Fekir's team won this week.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Fekir's team won. No, I'm not gonna have this slander. I'm not gonna have this slander. Nabil Fekir is an exceptionally talented 10. I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm not gonna prove anything to you.
We cannot. We cannot allow this guy to come and do this, guys. There's no ways. There's no ways he's just thrown in Fekir now and hazard conversations.
Bro,
Like,
Khanya
no.
knew what he was doing.
Moving
He knew what he
swiftly
was doing.
along, we've discussed Hazard in Madrid for enough time. Graham Potter's Chelsea won 3-0 against AC Milan. I think that they were very, very fortunate. They played a Milan side that was dilapidated by injuries. I can't make too many excuses, though. In the second half, Chelsea were genuinely really, really good. I think that, for me, that's the best performance I've seen from them this entire season. And I have nothing but words of praise for them at this point. Like, I was very, very impressed by that. Mason Mount, I'd like to have his goal ruled out as well.
Good finish. Wow.
Yeah. Like Chelsea, I hate to say it, Chelsea looked like they might be something. Maybe not as bad as I thought they'd be.
And my boy Tobi is there, but we're gonna ignore his
Honestly, Rindai, see, I was waiting. This is why Rindai is my guy.
Yeah.
Wait, because Rafael Leao is what? What do you want to say, Tobi? Say it for the audience. Say it clearly. So you have to eat. This is the word clip, by the way.
There's a theory by someone by the name of Professor T-Boy who stated that he will not over-exaggerate Rafael Leao's abilities until he leaves Serie A. And this was his first audition, which he terribly failed. Okay, I'm not saying terribly because he played. Yeah, sorry. Okay, let me not actually be a fool. Okay, he played all right, but I even said that once he goes to these, like, I just want to see how he performs in these leagues because I do not know if he can be able to deal with the new better defenders. That was my end point, and we kind of saw it. But I'm not gonna say that's my hit because obviously this is just Chelsea. Yeah, maybe he'll score more goals against the middle table teams. So. Wow. But we'll see, though. But all I'm saying is thank you, Rindai, for pointing out my hits. Khanya, no worries, bro.
I have such a problem with claiming that as a hit because firstly, I think we all have one opinion of Reece James as like him right now and how well he's playing. Secondly, when Milan looked dangerous it was always through Leao, especially in that first half. Like, him running his small touches, playing inside, I think he was the most he was a spark in the team for almost all of the attacks in that first half. If that was it Krinic, if he doesn't do that foolishness, it's a completely different game, and I don't think you'd be saying what you're saying about Leao now. But albeit that Chelsea performed a lot better, in the second half.
Let's not get it twisted. I respect it. Let's not get it twisted, please, as well. I respect
but most of Milan's sparks were through him. Like, when they looked dangerous, he was starting an attack. He was running through players. Don't be blinded by an agenda or a second half.
I hear that. But okay, we can all agree that Leao is a very direct player, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is my theory when it comes to football. I believe if you are a winger who takes on players, a very direct player, you can have a 5 out of 10 game, but for the public and the eye test, look like you've had a 6 out of 10 game or 7 out of 10 game. That's just because of the type of footballer you are. So yes, Leao is going to be taking on hella players. He might be beating a few players, but we cannot just then now claim, okay, yeah, he's actually had a very good match. Everything, he was like one of the best players in the match. But like, he should be doing a lot more. Because
like what like
in his performance, right?
Goals and assists.
G+A, Tobi.
You know what's funny, guys? This is what we're saying about Adama Traore, and men like Tobi were fighting. All of the things he's saying now,
no, but that's different. That's different because
it is exactly the same thing.
Bro, that was very different because I remember he had no one to assist to, nothing. He was crossing. Fabio Silva was the only guy in the box. Don't irritate me today.
Bro, his best season.
Don't irritate me.
You guys were telling us he's going to get like 15 assists when he hadn't even gotten close to that before.
Okay, first of all, I'm very annoyed to talk about Adama Traore at this point in time. But if we're going to do this, let's fairly. Mvu, you cannot pretend that Adama Traore did not show up at Barcelona. He didn't do it for long.
That is not what I'm saying.
Let me finish. There was a decent, I want to say 8 to 12 game, not consecutive, but in total, where he genuinely did make an impact for you guys, where you could see how he was useful. Tobi, to me, it doesn't make sense that you're criticizing Leao for not necessarily having the end product and talking about having a complete game, because he played well despite the fact, in the first half at least, he played well despite the fact that he didn't end up getting an assist or a goal. He still looked threatening, and it was by far like Milan's only hope of getting anything from that game, especially when you consider the fact that Theo Hernandez was out. The Oaks had a really coming to the bench. You're hoping that Charles de Ketelaere has an amazing game away at Stamford Bridge. Like the way you're critiquing him essentially for being a direct winger, and then saying no, it needs to be what was the word you said? A holistic performance. You can't really have a holistic performance in a game when you as a winger, rather, especially the type of winger he is. If there is no goal, but you can still look and say, you know what, if Oaks had taken their chances, he would have had a good game. He was the entire attack on his own. You want to praise Adama Traore when Oaks aren't finishing. That chance Mvu was talking about, the Krunic misses. That's all Liao. If there's no Liao, there's no player in that Milan side that creates that chance.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? So when you look back at Liverpool versus Real Madrid, would you say Salah had a good game?
The final.
In the final.
Yes. You see, no. And thank you for saying no. You know, actually, God bless you for saying no. He impacted that game hella. If Courtois was not in goal, he probably would have been man of the match. So I don't know why you're capping. You see, this is my point.
Because I would have said Mane had a better game.
My goodness. My Jesus is Lord. Rindai, please, Rindai, please.
Why are you calling Rindai for backup? No, Rindai,
please. Don't stand up. Be proud. Stick to your points.
Rindai,
by something.
You know Salah.
This guy says, back me up, bro.
No, but Rindai, you saw Salah. That game in the Real Madrid against Real Madrid, he turned up. You cannot lie and say
he bowled. He bowled. He turned up.
Bro, he turned up. That's what I'm saying. But because people are not saying he had a good game.
No, but I didn't say he was anonymous. I just wasn't, it was just, it didn't come to anything meaningful.
He didn't score, bro.
Wait, let me finish. It's not just because he didn't score. It's because after Madrid's goal, Liverpool as a whole, resort to what they normally do in the chasing game. It became about just crossing to Trent and creating those half chances, as opposed to any real intricate play. Like his role just shrunk massively. Like Vinicius didn't have a great game in the final, but he scored. You didn't ask about Vinicius, but you were so ready to use that to jump. No, dude. He Salah did well. He wasn't terrible, but he didn't have a great game either. It's very hard to have a great game. And also, you must keep in mind, you're comparing Salah, where people would say Liverpool had the majority of the ball, to Liao in a much weakened Milan side away at Stamford Bridge. And the biggest chance, the single biggest chance that Milan had, was all Liao. That's not the same as what happened to Salah. I'm not making that comparison. I'm not
also Chelsea went outright favourites to win that game, though. You showed me. If I'd asked you before the game was going to win, you probably would have said Milan. So we're not now going to use the fact that Chelsea want to say that they were a much better team, because I don't think that's true.
No, it's not about them being a much better team, but the reality is they came into the game with less injury concerns than Milan did, especially because the overall depth isn't the same. Oaks, please tell me you guys know Fode Balo's game at left back. Please tell me you think what you think about that player. That's not that's ridiculous. That's no disrespect to him, but he's not nowhere near the level of Liao. And Liao's not Liao, Theo Hernandez, exactly.
Yeah, Hernandez.
When you lose players like that for Milan, it's way more. It's just a much bigger deal than it is for Chelsea. And also, again, it's an away game. If Theo Hernandez is miraculously fit for the return leg next week, then 100% I'm going to say Milan are favourites. But in this game, they needed to have scored that chance, as Mvu said. After that,
he's not coming back.
You're getting overrun.
Also, Tobi, just back to your point, Liao didn't talk before the game. Salah was telling us they want revenge. So he must show us. He must show us. He didn't show us. He said, I want revenge. Score, bro. Win the game. Do something. If you're gonna talk, you must show us. You didn't show us, so don't use that guy as an example, please.
Yeah, I've got a question. So, Tabani was making some serious claims after the Dortmund game. he said that Bellingham is, when all is said and done, Bellingham is going to be clear of Lampard and Gerrard. What do you guys think of that?
Wait, did he say you'll have the best career, or he will be the? Because you know you can literally go read the message as well. Let's
Yeah,
not
let me go find the
let's,
message actually.
Yo, they're cooking Tabani, bro.
let's not misquote people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But what did you think of his performance in general, though?
bro, I was impressed. I mean, like,
I'm not impressed. Guys, that Sevilla team is as bad as Leverkusen. They just sacked their coach as well. Like he took advantage of a weak side, as he should. Great for him. You can only beat who's in front of you, but I'm not as moved by that particular performance.
Yeah,
that's a fair point, but I always take whatever you say about Belling with a pinch of salt, because
okay.
I think you're doing like what I do when people talk about a player and you don't see him in that light, or you think there's just too much acclaim at such a early stage.
Bro.
You find a way to balance it out. Where you're like, I don't see it.
So
Tabani it's not that yeah, sorry, go ahead, Rindai.
Sorry, Tabani said, and I quote, Bellingham will retire the greatest English midfielder ever.
Yay.
Those were his words.
He followed up by saying, "Only time stands in the way of this. Destiny shall arrive."
Tab. When you listen to this, you need to come onto the show. We are waiting for you, bro.
Yeah.
So look, I don't think it's an absolutely audacious claim, because what he's doing at his age is remarkable. It really, really is. Like I don't think we can pretend like what he's doing isn't sensational. I understand the praise, I understand the hype. For me, I just like what Mvu's saying. I'm not saying that I don't think Bellingham is that good. He's just not complete yet, and he doesn't need to be, because he's 19. Like he has the regular faults would have. He's exceptionally good for his age. I just don't necessarily think he should be rushing to be going to Madrid, for example. That's my only real concern at this point. But I don't know. How do you feel about it?
What do you see with this potential then? Like, what you've pointed out that, you know, like, he's young. He's still a 19-year-old midfielder, even though he's really good for his age. What do you see? Where do you see him ending?
I think he's talented enough to eventually go and play at Madrid. I really do. I don't know if I'd outright say he's. I don't think he'll be better than Gerrard.
Yeah,
that's not what I see. I just don't believe that.
I agree. And
he's not as good behind the ball. He's almost like he's becoming more and more a final third midfielder.
Yeah.
And like as combative as he is, he's capable of winning the ball. He works really hard. I still think he's more an attacking 8. I don't think he necessarily has the range to be playing as a lone 6, for example. And that's not his game. So he doesn't have to be. But for me, the fact that Gerrard could play everywhere in midfield and do it all to the highest level, I'm always gonna have him ahead of anyone else, really. And as much as I don't like Scholes, Bellingham doesn't have the passing range that Scholes has either. Like there's certain traits he just doesn't have. For me to be putting him above these players when he's had 3 seasons is ridiculous. And also rushing. Why are we doing this? Why do we want to crowd him so badly? He'll just show us. He'll just show us. Why?
So you think his game is probably more suited to the likes of Lampard, like stylistically, as an attack midfielder.
Like if he has to maximize, he'd go that way. And even if he did that, I don't think he's going to score as much as Lampard did.
Yeah, Lampard was crazy.
But so like the ceiling is just you'll just be very good, and you're probably the best midfielder of this generation for England. And that in itself is good. Just be good for yourself for where your Oaks are. Why do you want to be compared to the other guys? Leave the guys.
Okay, Rindai, go. I'll say it after.
Okay, cool. For me, I feel like with what Khanya said now about him staying at Dortmund for a few more seasons, I don't really agree with that, because, for example, how long was Sancho at Dortmund for before he went to United? Because I remember
that might be a
he-
very poor example. That might be a very, very poor example to go with, bro.
Now wait, get my point, bro. Get my point. Because I remember Sancho was supposed to had the opportunity to leave earlier than he did, right? And people were like, okay, cool, like maybe he should stay for a few more seasons, and he did, and then he left. But it's like, did those few more seasons really do anything for him? Number one. And number two, I feel like him going to Madrid, like at the end of the season, would be perfect because at Madrid, especially if you're that young and you have the potential, they won't really rush him into the starting 11. Like, I don't think he's going to go in and start in Madrid, number one. Because, for example, obviously this is different, but I remember when Madrid first came to Madrid, he was much older. But like his first few seasons, like I know his first season, he was like crowned the worst signing. And his second season wasn't great as well. But because we knew why we bought him, like we're patient with him, and I feel like we'll do the same with Bellingham. And he's going to win the trophy that drove Madrid. So that's his cabinet will be 30. You feel me? And from there, he can do whatever he wants. You get me? And I feel like he'll develop a lot more at Madrid, personally.
I think the reason why I think Madrid might be good is only because I think there's this rebuild for I haven't seen Madrid sign so many young players like they have now. So I think that, like you're saying, there's this need to develop these midfielders. Otherwise, it would be quite pointless signing the midfielders that they have. Like, I think Tchouaméni was the old, well, maybe Valverde was there long before.
Yeah,
but
he was
the
there
oldest,
before,
I think, is 22. So I think they're looking to replace the three, but it's a long-term thing. So I don't think them signing Bellingham and him not working in the very first season is going to be a detriment to him. But I don't agree. I think he comes in and he will start.
You start?
Yeah, like if he comes in next season, I don't see Modric being there. I don't see Kroos being there. Why would Bellingham not start? Is Camavinga going to bench Bellingham? No.
Different roles.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he wouldn't. He probably wouldn't.
But Tchouaméni would be the deepest lying midfielder, right?
Yeah.
So then the midfielder who replaces Kroos is Bellingham.
No. I'm just saying I'm saying either Modric or Kroos. I don't see either of them being there. So what reason would Bellingham have not to start?
If they both aren't there, then I feel like he will start. But I feel like at least one of them will stay for another season, especially without Kroos. Because Kroos has been playing amazing this season. I feel like he might say like a last dance.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And I don't think we'd want to lose both Kroos and Modric in the same season.
Modric isn't going anywhere, and I promise you. You know what? I'm actually going to leave this. You guys want Bellingham there, clearly. I've stated where I stand. It's fine.
I think
there's bigger games. There are bigger things than Bellingham in Madrid. For me, the biggest. I want to say surprise at this point, as Toby said. What's happened with Napoli, I think, deserves the biggest, the most plaudits. I'm very, very. I don't want to say shocked, but I knew they were good. They were good last season. Up until Osimhen's injury, they were still competing for the title. What I've seen from them this season is ridiculous. I genuinely think they have a case to be top 3 best performing sides, if not the outright best side in Europe right now.
No, he's proposed.
Khanya.
That's fine.
Like, in terms of performance, yeah, in terms of performance.
Oh,
like,
okay.
No,
as well as where they've come.
No.
Rindai's gonna say Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, but that's obvious. Because
they haven't lost.
Madrid on top of the log right now. Napoli are.
Nah, but come on, bro. Like we're not on top via goal difference, and we're both undefeated. Wait, hold on.
But Rindai, judging their performances,
are you saying Napoli have been better than Madrid this season?
I'm saying there's an argument. I'm saying there's nothing you can point to say Madrid are clearly better. Besides pointing out it's like just pure squad quality.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it comes down to, though. Like that's what it has to come down to.
Look, ultimately, I think you're just splitting hairs and finding a way to say Madrid is still top.
Yeah,
but when you watch Napoli on a week-to-week basis, you look at the players that they have, the way they play. Like, bro, I'm genuinely really impressed by the side. Like this isn't easy what they're doing. What they've done to Liverpool, the way they absolutely tainted Ajax. We're talking about the difficult place to go to. playing at like a game that's that easy. They won 6-1.
Yeah, that was an impressive performance.
Like if you want to say best round in the Champions League, you can't deny that they have been the most impressive side. And if I say the best side in Europe is the best performing Champions League side, how are you fighting?
You're preaching. You're preaching.
I just feel like if like Madrid or City were to go head to head with them, like I don't lose. Yeah.
I think, and even that 4-1 against Liverpool, people are underplaying it like it's nothing, bro.
Nah, but bro, Liverpool are trash, dog. Come on.
Nah, but come on.
Rindai, trash. Is that the word you want to use?
Okay. And that's definitely an exaggeration.
No, stand on it, bro. They trash. Stand on it.
They're not the same Liverpool.
Yeah, if you guys lose on Sunday, I'll laugh at you.
Honestly, mate,
Oaks
have no foresight right now. Like as much as I expect to beat Liverpool on Sunday, if we didn't win, it wouldn't be because the story would not be that we didn't beat a trash team. We should have stepped up and actually just held up against them.
I think we all know that, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying to call Liverpool trash, it's too easy to lean on. They're really, really bad right now. We know why they're bad. There's injuries, there's lack of fitness in the midfield. We've done this.
You're just afraid to call them trash because you know we're playing them tomorrow.
Yeah. If we played them this past Sunday and we beat them, he would say
you'd be going off. You'd be going off.
Oaks, I've already made my point clear. I still think we're going to win, regardless of what lineup they put out. I just don't think that we should be calling them trash in order to discredit what Napoli did, because there are lots of teams that play Liverpool this season as bad as they are, and they're not going to win 4-1, home or away.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But if
I'm
just saying that, like, if you looked at that first half against Liverpool, bro, like they got absolutely I've seen all season, bro.
No, they got absolutely ravaged. Joe Gomez didn't look like a professional. We've done this. We went through that game at length. But that doesn't mean any random team can step up and beat Liverpool. You can't. If Brighton are good, right? Everyone has respect for them as a club, everything, all that. They still couldn't beat Liverpool. They were winning, I think it was 3-0 at a certain point, and they still couldn't. Yeah, so the 3-1. They still couldn't do it because you still need to have a lot about you to for the full 90.
Yeah,
in that game,
and
even though Brighton were winning, at no point did I think Liverpool were actually going to lose the game.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Where does Kivcha rank in the top wingers in the world right now?
Who?
Kivcha, the Georgian guy.
Oh, the guy, the Shakhtar guy.
No, he's from some random team. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot the name now. But he's
in the top 5 wingers.
I said, where do you guys rate him in the wingers in Europe right now?
I don't want to put him in a specific place yet because again I've known him since August.
Okay.
I'm essentially judging him off 2 months when certain players have been injured, certain players about this, that, the third. It's too soon, but if we're going to be reactionary, I think let's lean into it for a little bit. He's probably a top 5 performing winger, like in the world right now. If I had to pick off from the start of the season, it's hard to not put him in.
Yeah, he's been insane at the moment.
Where would you place him?
Yeah, I'd have to say top 5, probably with Marcus Rashford.
What?
Wow. Those man. Wow. This season. I'm talking about this season. Not ability wise.
I shouldn't have
kick
asked
this guy off.
I'm talking about form. I'm talking off form.
I'm amazed you found a way to do that, Toby. You tricked me, and genuinely, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that I fell for it, and honestly, props to you. Like you, I just want to give you a round of applause.
Why do you do this all the time?
That was amazing. That was amazing.
I'm talking about all form, Oaks, and it's not a crazy take. That's what you guys are laughing, clapping. It's the truth.
It's okay.
Did you read that on Bleacher Report? There's no ways, bro. Please.
Nah. You Oaks are very, very weird. I'm not gonna lie.
But just to steer us back to where we were, Rindai, you're clearly reluctant to give this team any real praise. Who would you say besides Kivcha? Who have you enjoyed watching the most on that side? I'd like you to at least acknowledge them in some way.
What? Which side? The Shakhtar side.
Napoli, mate.
Napoli. To be honest, I I haven't really watched Napoli this season. I won't even.
That's why.
You see
That's why.
this
That's what
guy.
I'm talking about. You're so eager to erase them. Thank you. Thank
Khanya
you.
baited
But-
you.
but-
He was waiting for this.
No,
But I know-
I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
I know they don't
Thank
play
you,
the
Rindai.
Madrid or City though. Like,
Okay. No. Thank you, because you're using nothing, not even your eyes,
It's
to,
just
to,
blind.
to evaluate this. Honestly, Rindai, that is appalling from you to be slating Napoli and discrediting them without even watching them. I expected better from you, but we know you at this point. Agenda over facts at all times. Anyway, my final thoughts are on the group stage at this point. I have to go back to Club Brugge. Honestly, it's an achievement, at least so far, that I don't know a single person who thought that they'd be top of their group, and having beaten every single other team in their group so far, to be at 9 points after 3 games they've had a perfect record. They've had a perfect start to the tournament, especially after they lost Charles de Ketelaere to AC Milan, to then come back and perform far better in the UCL than they did last year, regardless of who's in their group and the struggles those teams are all facing. It really does deserve a lot of credit. And I don't know if I think that they'll do much better. Like, even in singing their praises now, I do think that the best they can hope for is a quarterfinal spot. I would say that any team currently second in their group, if they were to choose any group leaders to face right now, everyone would say Club Brugge. That being said, though, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's another level that they have in them, and I'd imagine that they could possibly beat maybe Juve, if Juve somehow found a way out of their group. But besides them, I don't know if there's anyone that I'd then pick Club Brugge to beat. But hopefully I'm wrong. I genuinely like to see more from them. Like, their story, given the size of the club in comparison to everyone else in their group, is genuinely remarkable. The other notable results in this group, I'd say Leipzig's win against Celtic was quite impressive. That Celtic side aren't as filled with quality, of course, but I still think that it's a very decent side, not necessarily a guaranteed win. I think Leipzig finally look to have found their feet again. They look more or less like a side that you'd expect, like what you'd expect from them generally. I think, having moved on from all the issues last season, it looks like Marco Rose might actually be a better fit for them than he was at Dortmund. Marseille's win against Sporting, I think, isn't a true reflection of their level. Sporting, when I say there, I think next week we'll see a much improved form from Sporting. I think that the goalkeeper let them down, and thankfully for them, he's suspended for this week. It'd be a shame if Sporting's UCL campaign was to collapse like this. I'd like to think that they'll be able to find their way back. For me, that's still the best side in that group, featuring Sporting, Marseille, Tottenham and Frankfurt. And Salzburg's win against Dynamo Zagreb, I think, if only because it keeps that group a lot more interesting. Like, I'm glad that it's not just Chelsea and Milan's group for them to decide who finishes first and second. I'm glad they have to keep Salzburg in mind as well. And I think Salzburg are likely to take points off one of them at some point in the rest of the group. But yeah, no, it's been a very I'd say standard procedure, more or less. I think aside from PSG failing to win, I think most results happened the way you'd expect. Like most home sides won. It was a very interesting week of European football, and I'm very excited to see exactly what we have coming up for us next week. In closing, I'd like to offer my final thoughts on Arsenal vs Liverpool as your host. This really is just my fellow Gooners out there. I do expect us to win, lads. I can't wait to get back to you guys on Monday, and hopefully I'm right, and we can come back to this as the beginning of something truly special. I've been your host, Khanya Mosetlhi. Thank you all for joining, and we can't wait to give you guys more content. Awesome.